Right, well I suppose I better show you Stu's slip D-rig that he's been catching so many fish this session with. What you do is you're going to take a curve shank, some coated braid, once you've got your coated braid, what you're going to do is you're going to strip it back. Once you've stripped it back, take your hook, put it through. So you should be left with, once you pull it through, you should be left with a loop coming out the back of the eye. Then you're going to whip, leave the tag end out the way, get your loop to the rough size you want your D. That's about right. Then whip round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back through the eye of the hook. Pull it tight. So you've got your knotless knot, you've got your loop, and you've got your tag end. We're just going to trim that tag end off, get that out of the way. I've done that a bit too tight there, so I'm going to need to take a bit more of the coating off. So we've stripped the coating off, we've got just under an inch of stripped coating. What we can do is, again, I'm going to grab a micro ring swivel. People have used all sorts of stuff for this, but micro ring swivels are definitely the one for attaching baits all day long, just for the sheer movement. Poke it through your loop, pull it over the hook, and then you've got that D, which allows that full movement, essentially a little bit like a blowback. But yeah, absolutely cracking rig. Bit of shrink tube. Slide your shrink tube on, pull it down to the hook. I'm in true Blue Peter fashion. Here's one I steamed earlier. So you can see there, you've got your D. Probably done the D a little bit too big on this one. Nice and shrinked. I just like to tie a double figure of 8 loop in the other end, because I'm a big fan of fishing quick change swivels at the end of my main line, so I can just quickly pop them on and off. Trim that tag end off so it's well out of the way. Yeah, there you go. So, pick your pop-up. Stu was fishing maggot, so he went for a white pop-up. I've had no white pop-up, so I've had to go with a cream. But Stu was using white, just so it was a bit subtle behind the maggots. Thread the bait frost through your micro ring swivel. Pull it just onto the swivel, give it a trim. Give it a blob. Now, the only thing that Stu was doing different than a normal slip D rig was he was threading maggots onto it. So he was essentially making a bit like a Medusa. So he was using a very, very fine line, a 2-pound line, and a sewing needle, and he was threading the maggots onto the 2-pound line, and then threading that through the top of the boilie and tying it down, and that's how we got the fish that essentially has stolen the session.